Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get started now. Please grab your seats and let us begin. Welcome to the Royal York on this beautiful Friday in October. We're absolutely thrilled that you could be here. My name is Rob Snook, and I'm your MC for today. This is our landmark 30th annual Canadian Disability Hall of Fame Luncheon, brought to you by the Canadian Foundation for Physically Disabled Persons and presented by CIBC. My background is in sport and broadcasting, competing in 3 Paralympic Games as an athlete, and these days I work a lot as a play-by-play announcer for Olympic and Paralympic sport here in Canada and sometimes around the world. And for a long time, it's been my pleasure to also serve on the board of directors of the foundation, the CFPDP. And I have a date with me today, and I know I'm going to get in trouble for this, but my wife Pam is over here at table 32. And yeah, well, there's more. It was 30, believe it or not, I know I'm really young, but 33 years ago on this date that this very, very young couple tied the knot. So this is our anniversary. So 3 kids and even a grandson later, here we are. We had to spend the day together. All right, if I may ask you to please, and I'm going to do the same thing, let's take our cell phones out and at the very least put them on silent. If you're really brave, just turn them off. That'd be awesome. We acknowledge this afternoon that we are gathering on the traditional territory of many nations, including the Mississaugas of the Credit, the Anishinaabe, the Chippewa, the Haudenosaunee, and the Wendat peoples. We wish to recognize the enduring presence of the many diverse First Nations, Inuit, and Métis peoples. Now please rise, if you can, and welcome the arrival of the Canadian Disability Hall of Fame inductees and today's special guests. Paralympian Michelle Stilwell. George Presbolowski, co-chair of today's event and a founding board member of the Canadian Foundation for Physically Disabled Persons. Tony White, also an event co-chair and director of the CFPDP. Patrick Jarvis from the Canadian Disability Hall of Fame Selection Board. Patrick has graciously agreed to step in for Selection Board Chair, the Honourable David Crombie, who's unable to be with us today. David's wife, Shirley, recently passed away, and the family is in our thoughts. Patrick Jarvis. Let's also give a hand to and warmly welcome 10 Paralympic medal winners from the Beijing 2022 Games, today's King Clancy Award winners. Pretty good-looking crew, if you ask me. Thank you so much for being here today. I'd also like to recognize the Honourable Vim Kochar, founder and chair, Canadian Foundation for Physically Disabled Persons. Now please join me in welcoming to the stage Major Beverly Ivany, Director of the CFPDP, to the stage for the singing of our national anthem and for the saying of grace.
Please join me in singing our national anthem. Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command, with glowing hearts and please remain standing for our prayer. Gracious Heavenly Father, just coming out of our Thanksgiving weekend, we are so thankful for many, many things, our family and friends, for our shelter and food, for our security, for this land of Canada. And yet we have been made so mindful in these last days of the great trouble in our world today. And so for those who live in constant fear, gracious Heavenly Father, give them a sense of comfort and peace. And for our event today, we just ask that it'll be a wonderful experience for all who are here, our conversation around the table. And Father, we ask that you will bless this food to our bodies. Amen. Please be seated.
Thank you, Beverly. As a longtime tradition, there are on your table, well, we call them piggy banks. I don't think they're piggies, but you see them. And you can make a donation in support of the Canadian Helen Keller Centre. CHKC provides accessible housing, programming, and intervener services for people who are deafblind. Shh. Everybody's so excited to see each other. That's great. CFPDP, this foundation, and the Canadian Helen Keller Centre have a proud shared history, as both organizations were founded by the Honourable Vim Kochar, with help from other passionate individuals who wanted to make a difference. CHKC's most ambitious project to date is underway. It's a 56-unit, affordable, and accessible apartment building for people who are deafblind and living with other disabilities. That apartment complex will be built just west of us in Etobicoke. So in previous years, the piggy banks, well, we've had many generous people put money in, but then we've also had many generous people who've agreed to match the money that's been put in. And so we're always open to that kind of matching. So be generous, and if there's anyone who wants to step forward, please do, to one of the board members or to Vim, and let's see if we can match it again another year. There's also a draw this afternoon for a door prize. If you've not yet put your business card in the raffle drum, please do so during lunch or give it to any member of the foundation team. And if you forgot your business card or you don't have a business card, there are some blank ones that you can write Rob Snook in and then put it in there as well. And that would be fine. Or your name, I guess. You could do that too. And today's door prize is a one-night stay at this beautiful host hotel, the Fairmont Royal York. We will draw the prize at the end of the luncheon, and you must be here still. Must be present to win. It's now my pleasure to introduce the Honourable Vim Kochar. For the past 39 years, Vim has played an active role, that's an understatement, an active role in the community by founding and leading the CFPDP. So please help me welcome to the stage Honourable Vim Kochar.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcoming you today for our 30th annual induction ceremony is an immense privilege for me. Thank you for being here and for always supporting our cause. Today, I would like to salute our three remarkable inductees: Chantal Benoit, Michelle Stilwell, and the Right Honourable Stephen J. Harper. Unfortunately, Stephen is unable to join us in person. He has sent a thank you video. The Canadian Disability Hall of Fame is a tribute to many remarkable Canadians who have inspired a whole nation to reach for their dreams. The contribution of our 126 inductees adds up to over 2,500 years of collective service. That, my friend, sets Canada apart as the best country in the world for people with disabilities. I encourage all of you to visit Canadian Disability Hall of Fame on ground floor of Metro Hall at 55 John Street. I'm also very proud of 10 Paralympic medal winners from Beijing who are with us today to receive their King Clancy Award and podium cheques. For many individuals, physical disabilities, the most significant hurdle they face stems from misconceptions held by others. That is why for almost 4 decades, our mission has been to reshape the way Canadians view disability. We always focus on abilities. While I've been talking, I've been looking at the piggy banks on your table. By golly, I don't know how many times we can say that. Miss Piggy is seeking help with 56-unit apartment complex that the Canadian Helen Keller Centre is building for people who are deafblind and others living with disabilities. Please fill up the bank, use the credit card slip on your table, and give generously. Thank you to our MC Rob Snook for being a role model for everyone who knows him. We are also very thankful to Patrick Jarvis, with us present for our 2023 inductees. I want to conclude by thanking our sponsors, our organizing team of George Presveleski, Tony White, Christine Payne, Dorothy Price, Rob Ham, and each one of you who has come to support us. Please keep coming and keep the flame lit, and together we will continue to make the difference. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Vim. Eloquent as always. Thank you, Vim. Certainly appreciate all you've done and continue to do. I would like to introduce the Honourable Raymond Cho, Ontario's Minister for Seniors and Accessibility, to bring greetings and welcome Minister Cho.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. What a crowd. What an impressive coming together of all these incredible people. Being here with all of you is so very inspiring. As Ontario's Minister for Seniors and Accessibility, I get the honor of a meeting with so many wonderful people all around the province. This event brings so many outstanding people who have so many incredible abilities. It is truly uplifting. When I come here, I think about my hero, Terry Fox. As we know, Terry Fox lost one leg from cancer. Terry Fox said, "If you try, anything is possible." And to that I say, if you don't try, you don't achieve anything. His words continue to inspire me. I had the honor of traveling to Thunder Bay this year and was able to visit his memorial that overlooks Lake Superior. It was a humbling experience, but I continue to take his word to heart. And as I stand before you today, I see a room full of Terry Foxes here. Each and every one of you are people who each and every day inspire, who turn their challenges into abilities. People like Unstoppable Tracy. I met her last year. I couldn't find her today. And there's a reason that she is known as unstoppable, because she is. And it is Unstoppable Tracy and everyone in this room that sets the tone for our community. As I become more mature, as people become more mature about people's abilities, I feel that we as a society become more able. One person who certainly helped to change the world for the better is not here today. But my good friend, David Only, was someone who has left towering legacy. I was so glad to see his better half rooster earlier. October is National Disability Employment Awareness Month. It is a time when we highlight all the great opportunities for people with disabilities. And one of the reasons that there is such a great celebration and success was due to the work of David. He was a friend of mine. I knew him for many years before I became a minister. David was in broadcasting, and I was a Toronto City Councillor. And when Premier Ford appointed me as Ontario's first minister for seniors and accessibility, David and I had many conversations. He said to me, what needed to be our top priority was to make sure that people with disabilities were given a fair shot in the workplace and that there should be meaningful training and good paying jobs for all. David emphasized that the best accessibility for people with a disability is to let them have a good paying jobs. And we are doing that. Now, there is a skills development fund that invests directly into working with our community to provide meaningful training and create good paying jobs. our journey continues. Together, we are showing the world that no matter what challenge you may have, that we all have incredible abilities, that we are all making the world a better place each and every day. Each of you in this room inspires me. Each of you motivates me to continue the journey. I thank for all being here and opportunity to speak with you this afternoon. Let's all work hard. Together, we make a better Ontario for the people with all abilities. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Minister Cho. And thank you for reminding us about a great friend of the Foundation, David Onley, who was not only a friend of many, but a mentor to many people in the disability community and elsewhere. We miss him, but obviously his legacy lives on. We'd also like to thank CIBC for being our presenting sponsor today. Your support is greatly appreciated. Thank you to Deloitte and Scotiabank, both diamond sponsors, and to the Hal Jackman Foundation and Guattari Group, our gold sponsors. We thank Post Media and the National Post, our national media sponsors for this event. We would also like to thank Accessible Media Incorporated, AMI, our broadcast sponsor. Yes, did you know that this event is being broadcast live across Canada on AMI Audio with hosts Andy Frank and Jacob Szymanski. Yes, it's awesome. So be careful what you say. No. Thank you to Air Canada, our travel partner. We thank Canadian Hearing Services for sponsoring the captioning and our ASL interpreters. We welcome and thank ASL interpreters Scott Houston and Jamie O'Connell, and captioner Denise Agard for being with us today, and to all of the people and communities and corporations who helped make this event happen. It takes a village. Thank you. Your support is greatly appreciated. Now, yes. You'll be happy to hear my next paragraph. It's please enjoy your lunch. And while you're doing so, we invite you to learn more about our inductees. If you're here at the Royal York, you can dig into the Why Not magazine and buy your seats. And if you're tuning into the broadcast on AMI, you will hear pre-recorded interviews with our inductees and a King Clancy Award winner. I'd also like to draw your attention to the screens for some of the special guests who are with us today. Again, CFPDP recognizes and thanks our corporate sponsors for their continued support. Enjoy your lunch. because my script says 1:17, and it is exactly 1:17. So we want to keep everyone on time. We know a lot of you have maybe dates, work engagements this afternoon. Hope you enjoyed your lunch. Before we begin our official induction ceremony, I want to introduce the previous inductees to the Canadian Disability Hall of Fame who are here with us today. If I could ask you to hold your applause until the very end. So here they are in alphabetical order. Jeff Adams, Archie Allison, Frank Bruno, Alan Dean, Sudarsham Gautam, Bernie Gluckstein, Patrick Jarvis, the Honourable Vim Kochar, Jim Kite, Lauren McDonald, Dr. Jamie McDougall, Brian McKeever, Jim Sanders, Dr. Charles Tater, Jeff Thiessen, and Mark Wafer. Now, let's hear it. Now I'd like to welcome the Honourable Elizabeth Dowdeswell, Lieutenant Governor of Ontario, to bring official greetings. So I will draw your attention to the big screens.
It's my pleasure to extend warm greetings to all attending the Canadian Disability Hall of Fame Induction Luncheon. And sincere congratulations to this year's honorees, Chantal Benoit, the Right Honourable Stephen Harper, and Michelle Stilwell. These inductees have demonstrated outstanding accomplishments across the three selection categories: athlete, builder, and achiever. On the basketball court, inside the halls of our federal and provincial parliaments, and in the boardroom, these three individuals exemplify the very definition of accessibility that was put forward by my late predecessor, the Honourable David Onley. That which enables people to achieve their full potential. Himself an inductee into the Canadian Disability Hall of Fame, Mr. Onley tirelessly advocated for a just vision for accessibility in Ontario. Realizing this vision rests upon strong collaboration and engagement across all sectors of society. In the spirit of that collaboration, I commend the significant role that the Canadian Foundation for Physically Disabled Persons has played in providing resources, advocacy, and opportunities for people facing physical challenges. Indeed, the Canadian Disability Hall of Fame is filled with the remarkable stories of remarkable people. The achievements of today's inductees rouse us to reimagine our world and its possibilities, to see not only what is, but what can be. They remind us that there are many different ways to tell our stories, and that this diversity of lived and living experience enriches our society. And they stir us all to give, do, and be more. As Mr. Onley also said, we're all role models to the person that we motivate. As the Lieutenant Governor of Ontario, I've served as the honorary patron of the Canadian Foundation for Physically Disabled Persons over the last 9 years. It has been such a distinct privilege. Once again, my sincere congratulations. May you all continue to do such good work for years to come.
And we express, yes, expressed our gracious thanks to the Honourable Elizabeth Dowdeswell for her remarks today and for her 9 years of service. Now I'd like to invite to the stage Paralympian, former President of the Canadian Paralympic Committee, Patrick Jarvis, now of the Canadian Disability Hall of Fame Selection Board, and Amy DeMello, Director, Workplace Accommodation and Ergonomics for CIBC, our presenting sponsor, to the stage. They will help us induct 3 extraordinary people to the Canadian Disability Hall of Fame.
Thank you, Rob. And since you opened it up with the 33rd anniversary to bring your wife to a luncheon that's been paid for by somebody else, I thought I'd share the advice Rob gave me. He said, love is blind, but marriage is an eye-opener. We'll chat later. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our 30th annual Canadian Disability Hall of Fame induction celebrations. Again, my name is Patrick Jarvis. I'm a member of the Hall of Fame Selection Board, and on my script it says, share a bit of additional background about yourself. I will keep it short. I've had the distinct pleasure of being in some fashion or another, in some type of capacity, of 17 Paralympic and Olympic Games. Only one as an athlete, and unlike those individuals here today that we'll be celebrating, no medals, just a death grip on 11th. Every day in communities across this country, people with disabilities are making important contributions to the world we live in. There are also people who've made extraordinary contributions to enhance the lives of people with physical disabilities, raise awareness, or increase opportunities. Each year, we are delighted to add to the great record of achievement, and today, we welcome 3 new members to the Hall of Fame. Just before we officially do that, I would also like to thank the members of the 2023 Hall of Fame Selection Board who are with us today. Don't be shy, just maybe a wave of your hand when you hear your name. The Honourable Condonino, John Downing, Dr. Jamie McDougall, Janice Martin, Jennifer Robbins, Jeff Thiessen, and Mark Wafer. Thank you for your work, and a thanks to everyone at the CFPDP. Now, what we're here for, let's meet our inductees. For 2023, our first inductee is in the athlete category. Chantal Benoit is widely recognized as the greatest female wheelchair basketball player in history. She made the Canadian national team in 1984, just 1 year after she first started playing the sport, and her remarkable success lasted over 25 years. As a 7-time Paralympian, Benoit won 3 gold medals and a bronze. She is also a member of 4-time world champion teams. Benoit's dominance on the court earned her the nickname, the Michael Jordan of women's wheelchair basketball. Her contributions to the sport and advocacy for inclusivity led to her appointment to the Order of Canada in 2018. As well, Benoit received the International Wheelchair Basketball Federation Gold Medal Triad Award for her impact on the sport's growth. Today, Benoit remains active in the wheelchair basketball community, and her legacy as a player and ambassador continues. I am pleased to present a remarkable athlete to be inducted into the Canadian Disability Hall of Fame, but unfortunately other circumstances have precluded her from joining us today. But I understand that an individual who knows something about Paralympic medals will be accepting this on behalf of Chantal Benoit, and it's Jeff Adams who will be coming to the stage.
Thank you very much on behalf of Chantal. When she called and asked me to accept this award on her behalf, I was honored. I can't think of another athlete that I admire more. I am a track athlete. I was a track athlete, but I started my career in basketball and was on teams that competed against Chantal. I was often matched up against her. And I'm not saying that having to play against her had anything to do with me abandoning basketball and going to track, but there was an effect. She destroyed me as she destroyed most of her competitors, if not all of her competitors, and she took that ferocity and tenacity into her business life that continued after her sporting career after she retired. So it's a great honor. She's asked me to thank everyone in attendance, the selection committee. Special thanks to the Honourable Vim Kochar in particular, and she regrets immensely not being able to be here with all of you today. Thank you.
Still reading from the script. Don't let him get off the stage. Okay. For those of you, you can learn more about Chantal and the other inductees again in the Why Not magazine on your table. Now, I am pleased to present our remarkable builder inductee for 2023, who also unfortunately was unable to travel to Toronto to join us today. The Right Honourable Stephen J. Harper dedicated significant efforts and resources towards improving the lives of people with disabilities. As Canada's 22nd Prime Minister, he empowered a team in Cabinet and through federal appointments that would help make the life better for the disability community at large. The Harper government initiated and implemented more than 24 key policy areas that help persons with disabilities. This includes the Registered Disability Savings Plan, which was introduced in 2008. The Harper government enhanced the Opportunities Fund for Persons with Disabilities. This program is designed to help individuals prepare for, obtain, and maintain employment or self-employment. And it was through the Enabling Accessibility Fund, established in 2007, his government funded programs to improve the accessibility of public spaces and workplaces. The Harper government also helped to advance the Paralympic movement. Initiatives included financing for the 2010 Winter Olympics, and Paralympics. I was on the committee, had to join the Games, but for the Winter Paralympics in Vancouver. Ongoing annual funding for the Canadian Paralympic Committee, as well as support for the Special Olympics. I am pleased to present a remarkable builder to be inducted into the Canadian Disability Hall of Fame. And if I could draw your attention to the screens, please.
Greetings, everyone. I'm sorry I can't be with you this evening, but I'm greatly honored to be inducted into the Disability Hall of Fame. And I really accept this honor not on my own behalf, but on behalf of the government I led and the many people in it who were committed to this cause. I think, obviously, of Vim Kochar, who as senator and citizen has spent many years advocating for this cause. I think of the late Jim Flaherty, who really drove a lot of the policy detail in this area. It was a great passion for him. And of course, the Honourable Stephen Fletcher, who made history and was an inspiration as Canada's first quadriplegic to serve in the Parliament and Cabinet of Canada. Once again, I want to thank you all very much for honouring all of us, and I wish you all a wonderful evening.
This brings us to the third induction today, and an outstanding achiever is who qualifies as our third 2023 inductee. Michelle Stilwell is a remarkable individual who has succeeded in multiple domains. A 6-time gold medalist in wheelchair basketball and athletics, she is the only female Paralympic athlete to win gold in 2 separate summer sport events. She represented Canada at 4 Paralympic Games and won a total of 7 medals in her career. Stillwell is also a 9-time world champion and multiple world record holder. However, in addition to her athletic accomplishments, Stillwell has excelled in both politics and business. She served 2 terms as a member of the Legislative Assembly in British Columbia, so will always remain honorable to me, and was the Minister for Social Development and Social Innovation. Stillwell's an active member of multiple national and international boards, and for 15 years, she oversaw all operational aspects of an international public speaking company. I'm certainly most pleased to present a remarkable achiever to be inducted into the Canadian Disability Hall of Fame, Michelle Stilwell.
Wow, look at the full room. So I just want to take a moment to thank the Canadian Foundation for Physically Disabled Persons for the honor and the privilege to join 123 other incredible individuals, many who I consider friends. I'd like to acknowledge Rob Snook for nominating me for this award, who he obviously recognized or felt I was deserving, and then the selection committee for agreeing with him. You know, it's not lost on me that what brought me here today. And I would say it's three things that I'm extremely grateful for. The first is my injury. And many might think that's kind of odd, but my injury is what opened my eyes to the barriers that are faced for people with disabilities. I started living the life of constant obstacles, and it allowed me to find my voice and start to use my voice to advocate for others. The second is my family, and they have always been there to support me, to encourage me, to tell me that I can, that it didn't matter what the obstacles were, there was a way to find a way around it. So they always had my back. And then the third is sport. Sport gave me the opportunity to persevere, to find that determination, to dig deep, to reach my full potential, to showcase on the international stage what was possible. And those three things together led me to a life in public office. Let me tell you, not everybody wants that. But those three things together gave me my voice, gave me that opportunity to advocate, to push for positive change, to create opportunities for those people who couldn't speak up, who couldn't make those opportunities possible for themselves. So for all of those things, I'm extremely grateful. I thank you very much from the bottom of my heart for this privilege. Thank you.
Pause for photos. Again, as the inductees are exiting the stage, last little comment is, Michelle, I have probably hung more gold medals on you than any other athlete, except perhaps Brian McKeever, who I got the pleasure, and Mark and a few others that I've had the honor of handing out medals to, which hardly made up for the 11th place finish, but it was extremely exciting. Congratulations again. I will now turn things back over to our MC, Rob Snook.
You should always be careful when you insult the MC and he's going to be the last person to speak. While you were speaking, Pat, your wife Lisa texted me and said that she thinks you should take Rob and Pam out for dinner tonight on their anniversary, and simply because you now get the seniors discount. So, just saying. It's just the text from Lisa. I'm just reading it. Congratulations to all of our award winners. And Michelle, I think the question that hit me when I was nominating you is, why is she not in already? Because she's amazing. So again, let's hear it for all three of our winners. The King Clancy Award is our next focus. The award recognizes individuals whose outstanding accomplishments have helped to increase public awareness about the potential of persons with disabilities. Through their efforts, these individuals have inspired others to reach for their dreams. CFPDP, the foundation, established the King Clancy Award in November of 1986 to commemorate the contributions of Hockey Hall of Famer King Clancy as an inspirational humanitarian. And I'm honored now to present the 2023 King Clancy Award to several recipients who were unable to join us at the Great Valentine Gala in February. Many The reason was in many cases because they were still competing in their sport and in their training. And now they are able to join us today. Ladies and gentlemen, our 2023 King Clancy Award recipients are medal winners from the Paralympic Winter Games in Beijing in 2022. I'd like to now call George Presbolowski and Tony White, today's event co-chairs and directors of the foundation, and Brooke Hustis, the VP, Enterprise Crisis and Business Continuity Management for Scotiabank, to the stage. I've noticed that whenever George and Tony come on the stage, the music comes. So I think they're expected to do maybe a little two-step or something. In addition to being a diamond sponsor for the 30th Annual Canadian Disability Hall of Fame Induction Luncheon, Scotiabank has been a generous, ongoing partner in CFPDP's Podium Fund for almost 2 decades. CFPDP created the Podium Fund in 2004 to provide financial rewards to Paralympic athletes who win medals at the Paralympic Games, winter and summer. So this continues to fill a decades-old void. George, Tony, and Brooke will join me for the King Clancy Award podium check presentations to our Paralympic medalists. And the 2023 King Clancy Award recipients with us today are from the sport of alpine skiing. He took a bronze medal in Beijing in the giant slalom to match the one he earned in Pyeongchang 4 years before. And by the way, won another medal at the World Championships this past winter. From Gatineau, Quebec, Alexis Guimont. And while Alexis is receiving his award and having his photos, I'll introduce our next winner. This alpine skier is part of a dynamic medal-winning team. In Beijing, this talented athlete and trusted guide helped his visually impaired racing teammate, Mac Marcoux, to a silver medal in the downhill. If you want to know more, you can read about their exploits in his book, More Than Meets the Eye. From Ottawa, Ontario, Tristan Rogers. Maybe what we'll do is we'll have a couple of athletes on this side, and then the other athletes will line up on the other side so we can get everybody wide on the stage. 8 more. Okay. So 4 and 4, George says, and he's in charge. So, our next award winner has an impressive collection of 11 medals collected over the last several Paralympic Games in biathlon and cross-country skiing. At Beijing 2022, he added 4 more, including gold in the 10-kilometer biathlon event. The pride of Prince Edward Island, Mark Arends. Mark told me that he doesn't live in PEI anymore, but he lives in Calgary area, or at least in Alberta, and he is going back there tonight to the island, so I'm sure they'll be thrilled to have him on Prince Edward Island. Also, from cross-country skiing, this athlete stood on the podium 3 times in Beijing, including bronze in both the sprint and 18-kilometer distances, and he and 3 others were relay medalists as well. Amazingly, it matched his 3 medals won in Pyeongchang. He's been a world champion, and today he's a King Clancy Award winner from Bracebridge, Ontario, Colin Cameron. Our next winner is also from cross-country skiing. After winning 1 medal at Pyeongchang in 2018, she doubled down to win 2 in Beijing, bronze in the 12.5K biathlon, bronze in the 15K cross-country. The pride of Prince Albert, Saskatchewan, Brittany Hudak. Our next winner has already been mentioned today. He has been here before. He has been on top of podiums countless times, but we'll count them anyway. It began in Salt Lake City over 2 decades ago, and he's now piled up 20 Paralympic medals, 16 of them gold, including a hat trick of gold in Beijing, covering distances from 1,500 meters to 20 kilometers. From Calgary, Alberta, the great Brian McKeever. Always hard to follow Brian McKeever, but I think you'll be impressed. Also from cross-country skiing, and I think a protege of the McKeevers, brothers possibly, she managed an impressive haul in China with 2 golds, a silver, and a bronze. And if you add to that the 3 medals from Pyeongchang, she's got 7. And the other interesting number is she's only 22 years of age. She's also been a world champion, and we're proud to have her as a King Clancy Award winner, the pride of Salmon Arm, BC, Natalie Wilkie. Our next winner is a multi-sport athlete. She was a wrestler and competed in triathlons when she was younger, but after an injury ended her Olympic dreams, they eventually transitioned into Paralympic dreams. And she won 2 medals in 2018 in Korea and another last year in Beijing. From North Vancouver, BC, Emily Young. Our next athlete was a key player for Canada's para-ice hockey program for a decade more. He was part of a medal-winning team in Sochi in 2014, a medal-winning team in Pyeongchang 2018, a medal-winning team, silver in Beijing in 22. Amazingly, this Afghanistan war veteran started his career as a skater, transitioned to become a goaltender, and became one of the very best in the game. From Quebec City, Dominic Larocque. And also from para ice hockey, he made his first World Championship team in 2021, helped Canada to silver. Made his first Paralympic team in Beijing, helped Canada to silver. He's got the potential to patrol the blue line for Canada for years to come. From Edmonton, Alberta, Brandon Sisson. Well, it was impossible for us to find one athlete to speak on behalf of everyone, but we decided to ask one anyway. And so the very difficult task goes to Mark Arens, 4-time medalist in Beijing, who will speak on behalf of this group. Mark?
Thank you. And on a heartfelt thank you on behalf of all the athletes here, everyone here recognizing the achievements that we've been able to pull off here in Beijing, only a few months ago it seems, but I'm sure it's now a couple of years as we look forward. But also the recognition of this support and achieving dreams, as the Honourable Vim co-chair mentioned this morning, or earlier, it's about achieving dreams, and I think this recognition of the King Clancy Award is a part of that recognition, and not only a motivation for most of us, I believe, to continue for another 2 years and until the next games in 2026, and making the next round of dreams possible and making sure that we dream even bigger. So thank you for all your support, and thank you for this wonderful afternoon. Thank you.
Okay, we're going to try to get everyone on this side without falling off the edge if we could. If we could do a group photo with you guys.
I think we're supposed to be in. Why don't you go to the other end?
I'll go on the other end as well.
Okay.
Yes, indeed. Let's hear it again for the athletes as they make their way back to their seats. Tony and George are going to stay on the stage because we have a draw to do here. We're going to draw a business card for our door prize. And remember, you must be present to win. And that draw is happening momentarily. Here we go. All right, gentlemen, someone do the honors. I'll do play-by-play. George is winding the drum. Tony's opening the door. Tony's going to dig out the ticket. Comes across the blue line.
It's not a Powerball winner. I'm afraid it's going to be my own card.
Tony's afraid it's going to be his own card, in which case we will demand he puts it back in and redraws.
Shall I announce?
Yes, please.
The winner appears to work for Deloitte. Would Farah Ali please come to the stage?
Congratulations, Farah. Again, that was the Fairmont Royal York gift certificate for one night here at the beautiful hotel. Now I'd like to introduce Tony and George, who will each share a thought as well, our co-chairs for today.
Thank you, Rob. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for supporting the work and vision of our foundation. You all make it possible. My goodness, this has been a remarkable event. As co-chair of this afternoon's landmark 30th Annual Disability Hall of Fame Induction Luncheon, I would like to begin my remarks with congratulations to our 2023 inductees. You have joined a group of remarkable Canadians that is now 126 strong. You have achieved so much, inspired so many, and created positive change. Our King Clancy Award winners are such incredible athletes. Your determination, grit, and success make us all so proud. You have inspired us as a nation. You have accomplished what many would believe is impossible, but you have done it. Congratulations, athletes. Thank you to Patrick Jarvis from the Selection Board for stepping in for the Honourable David Crombie, who has chaired and nurtured the Hall of Fame for 30 years. Rob Snook, our incredible MC, we always are so thankful for everything you do. I would be remiss if I did not recognize and thank Team CFPDP. I especially want to give a special thanks to Rob Ham, he's sitting out there somewhere, our Master of IT, for shouldering the demands of our team and carrying out no fewer than 1,000 tasks or more. And of course, Christine Payne, whose tireless energy and brilliance, not to mention her organizational skills and diplomacy, yes, she has to work with us, have made today happen. Dorothy Price has been a wonderful and helpful mentor to our CFPDB team. Thank you, Dorothy. Thank you also to our event volunteers, Jan Verboom, Ivy James, Sarah Darluccio, Clarissa Gregorio, Fatima Kanji, and Dion Pinnell. Lastly, I want to recognize the man who has made all of this happen for almost 40 years, the Honourable Vim Kochar. His many accomplishments, unmitigated enthusiasm, relentless drive, good humor, and leadership over nearly a half-century to encourage, assist, and honor Canadians with physical disabilities and those who support and encourage them are unparalleled in Canada. I have known Vim since the early 1980s when we were both members of the Toronto Don Valley Rotary Club. He had visions then, which none of us but Vim could hardly envision, let alone make happen. Vim pushed us all forward, and with his leadership, he accomplished what we mistakenly assumed was the unaccomplishable. I could go on and on about Vim, but I would probably get unduly emotional. So I will stop here and just say a huge thank you, Vim, from all of us. Working with you and seeing so much accomplished over so many years has been a remarkable pleasure and inspiration. I now will turn the mic over to George.
Well, I don't know how many photographs you've counted that we've had today, but these have exceeded the number that we had at our wedding. No, he's done a great job for us. Thank you, Tony. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a privilege to co-chair this event today with Tony. He covered many of the well-deserved congratulations to our 2023 inductees and the 2023 King Clancy Award winners who are with us today who weren't able to be back in February. We could not be prouder of these impressive individuals and what they've been able to accomplish. Tony also expressed our sincere thanks to many of the people who helped make today possible behind the scenes, and as many as you know, this is probably one of the most important roles that many people play, and we want to thank them and Rob for thanking our sponsors, lead sponsors as well. But there's still one little bit more to offer thanks. Our Canadian Foundation has a very dedicated board of directors who passionately serve the organization year-round. Tony, Vim, Rob, Beverly, and I are part of that team, and so are several others who are with us today. And I just would like to give them some recognition. Faye Blackwood, Brian McLean, David Ford, and Maureen Hartquail. In addition to some of the supporting organizations that Rob recognized earlier, I would like to also thank a few of our inaugural sponsors, specifically from the commercial real estate community. Those of us who know me realize that I do need to give some recognition to many of the people who worked with us for 30-odd years. They include Granite REIT, Kevin Gorey, CBRE, Oxford Properties Group, and KingSett Capital. In fact, KingSett donated their 8 seats to people with disabilities so that they could join us today and attend today's luncheon. And finally, before I thank and bring back Rob Snook, I want to be able, ladies and gentlemen, to thank all of you for joining us today. With your support, the Canadian Foundation has undertaken many very significant and rewarding initiatives for the past 40 years, as you've heard, since 1985 when Vim began this entire journey. Many of these are featured in the Why Not magazine that each of you receive at your table. When you have an opportunity, please take a few minutes to review some of these initiatives which have led us to being named the Foundation of the Year back in 2018. Thank you so many others who I could go on and go on with, and we appreciate your support. Thank you for attending. We extremely are grateful. Thank you.
Two really good, hard-working gentlemen, and we really appreciate their support. We want to let everyone get back to their life, although I know half of you are going to sit here for 20 minutes and chat anyway, which is amazing. But we're going to wrap up the formal part of this program momentarily. Don't forget to start thinking about who you might nominate for the Canadian Disability Hall of Fame for next year. By the way, our next foundation event is the 40th annual Great Valentine Gala on February 10th of 2024. Huge celebration for the foundation community, the CFPDP community, and we have spent 4 decades, many have spent 4 decades to raise awareness and create real change. And do you know who the entertainer will be for our Great Valentine Gala? None other than Rick Mercer. So we are absolutely pumped about that, and he'll be bringing all kinds of great energy. He's a lover of the Paralympic Games and the Paralympic movement as well, so we can't wait for that. So many of the other people have already been thanked. I want to thank you for coming. Take your magazines. See you next time. Thank you so much for being at this Canadian Disability Hall of Fame luncheon. God bless.